let's get lit, man. What's good with y'all, man? Y'all already know what time it is, man. Today, man, I'm gonna be dropping one of these fire reactions, man. Y'all know, like I've been saying, man, we starting to react to all type of different stuff, man. So we got my boy 1090 Jake. You know what I'm saying? Me being from Florida, we had to come show us some support. And let's go ahead and get right into the video, y'all. As y'all can see by the title, Pooh Shiesty kidnapped Gucci Mane, and Gucci said he did it. Oh, Lord. That's 2 for 1. That's 2 gangsters gonna let us tell it. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's go ahead and get into it, man. This is crazy. His name is Pooh Shiesty, though. And you got a song where he said, Pooh, you know I'm really shiesty. So, it's not trustworthy. It's the opposite. Let's get it.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on how Pooh Shiesty robbed and kidnapped Gucci, how Gucci snitched on Pooh Shiesty, how Pooh Shiesty's father is a government informant. This is gonna be one of the craziest videos of 2026.
9 individuals,
Well, that kind of explains how he was doing all that stuff and getting out fast.
including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty.
It was well before, several hours before sunup, when they first heard a boom. It was then followed by shouting of from the agents who were saying that they were certainly executing a search warrant. I can tell you, after that boom, there was a back door that was breached.
It sounded like Gucci cooperated. It sounded like the victim. Gucci was a victim and gave his testimony. Come on over here with me, Gucci. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right, you gotta be civilian. Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on over here with me, Gucci. Press charges on their ass.
Flashbangs would pop.
Boy, it's over with. It's over with. You might hand all that up. You already know how the street code and the street politics go, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you. Might well hand that up. That was straight.
Off the federal search warrant of Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty's home on April 1st, 2026. The next day, the United States Attorney for Northern Texas would announce 9 individuals, including well-known rappers, were federally charged with kidnapping and robbing at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested in one day, including Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams Jr., aka Pooh Shiesty, his father Lontrell Williams Sr.,
If his kids watching, this the reason why you don't need to be no damn Pooh Shiesty and all these type dudes. Bro, he just got out. He out on bond. Not bond, but he out, you know, on ankle monitor and all this other stuff. And he got the nerve to go do something like that. It's insane, dog. This is what I mean by throwing away your life. And a little bit from what I heard is all this over, like a little bit of it is about, you know, the Gucci Mane, Yo Gotti thing about, you know, Yo Gotti trying to sign him and stuff like that, and he ain't want to go for it. Bro, you ain't even going to be able to use those millions now doing it that way. So that ain't even make sense. You can't even touch whatever amount of M's that Gotti signed for you. You got to use all that on commissary. Come on, man, that's crazy.
This rapper Rodney Wright, aka Big 30, and 6 others. A 32-page sealed criminal complaint would state on January 10th, 2026, at approximately 4:50 p.m., 3 victims were kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint at a music studio. The criminal complaint would list the 3 victims by their initials, RD, MM, and BP. But we all know RD is Roderick Davis, the 46-year-old Atlanta rap legend known as Gucci Mane. At approximately 1 p.m. that day, the victims flew into Dallas alongside Gucci's head of security and an additional security officer for a scheduled meeting with Pooh Shiesty, who'd been signed to Gucci's 1017 label since 2021. The meeting was scheduled because Shiesty was upset with the terms of his contract and wished to be released from the label, so he asked Gucci to meet about business. At approximately 1:45, Gucci and his team arrived at the meeting location, a music recording studio within a larger office building. Upon entering the building, they realized the recording studio was closed. In the meantime, they went to a nearby liquor store. Pooh Shiesty's father, who's more commonly known throughout the streets of Memphis as Mob Boss, ran an independent label named Mob Ties Records. Boss would call the owner of the Dallas recording studio at 2:53 p.m., trying to book the studio for Shiesty and Gucci to record music. This was over an...
So is that the same Mob Ties as Jay Prince them, or is it completely different? I don't know. I'm asking. Y'all let me know down in the comments. Is that the same or is that completely different? Didn't they say something about a Texas studio? Sounding kind of like it could be the same. Now, the crazy part about it is, that man Daddy was included with it. Now, that's insane. I don't know what type of gangster heist, GTA 5, GTA 6 soon to come mission y'all boys were trying to do. But it's got to be the last mission of the game. Like,
An hour after
there's no
Gucci
way.
had already arrived. 22 minutes after the call, the studio was open to Gucci and his team. A short time later, Mob Boss could be seen on surveillance video speaking on his cell phone outside the building before entering. At 3:39, a production employee would arrive while Pooh Shiesty and his father were standing at the back of the office building, engaged in what appeared to be an argument over the phone. Just minutes later, Shiesty, along with his father, Big 30, and 6 others, would enter the east side of the building, walking through the lobby and into the studio. One of the suspects at a later time can be seen exiting before shortly returning with a bag slung over his shoulder. All 9 suspects entered the studio's control room, where inside the victims were watching a football game. Gucci's head of security was positioned in the lobby, while the other guard remained in the vehicle. The victims overheard Pooh Shiesty talking on his cell phone, possibly with his federal parole officer, stating that his caseworker had given him permission to be out on rec time. From what the victims could hear, Shiesty was told on the phone that was not the case, and he needed to return immediately, to which he agreed.
So he was already in a violation, sound like, with his PO. Because, you know, you got to tell them everywhere you go, whenever you leave the county and junk like that, just in case y'all don't know. I'm telling you, anytime you're on felony papers and junk like that, especially here in Florida, boy, they do not play.
At the time, Shiesty was wearing an ankle monitor. Gucci would tell Shiesty...
And that's another thing. Y'all got cell phones, ankle monitor. I ain't trying to teach nobody to be a criminal, but like, damn, y'all ain't seen all these videos that everybody else been seeing? How people getting traced and tracked? This is crazy.
They can reschedule their studio session, but Shiesty asked to speak with Gucci privately in the attached recording room. Gucci would enter the room with Pooh Shiesty, his father, and Big 30. The 2 other victims would remain with the 6 suspects, even offering them drinks as 2 of the suspects accepted and poured up.
Boy, why would you touch a drink? Why would you take a drink or even touch anything? Boy, some of these people, man, them boys had to be hungry or something, man. Shoot.
Inside the booth, Shiesty pulled out a contract termination letter telling Gucci to sign it, releasing him from the label. Gucci refused, Shiesty became agitated, and the 2 began to argue. The 2 victims could see the conversation play out, and one of them saw the conversation intensifying, so he texted Gucci's head of security, who was still in the lobby. While arguing, Shiesty instructed Big 30 to get his bag.
Quiet.
Big 30 would come back into the room with the bag, and Shiesty would pull a Draco, aiming it at Gucci and demanding again that he sign the contract release paperwork. Gucci...
Boy, that boy thought he was really... I know his daddy named Mob, Boss or Boss Mob, whatever his name is, but Greg, that boy really think he in the mob. He really think he in the mafia or something. Them boys don't watch too many of them damn movies, man. What in the world going on here? I told y'all, this is going to be the last mission of GTA 6.
Gucci, now being held at gunpoint and unable to leave the room, complied, signing the paper while Shiesty's father and Big 30 stood by. Big 30 took out his cell phone and recorded Gucci signing the paperwork while being forced to say he released Pooh Shiesty from his contract. After signing, Pooh...
Don't they supposed to have like a notary or something to be there when stuff like that going on?
Shiesty would take Gucci's wedding ring, watch, earrings, and whatever cash he had on him. Shiesty then handed the paperwork to his father, asking him if it was good, to which he replied, "It needs to be dated." So Shiesty forced Gucci to write the date next to his signature. As Shiesty, 30, and Mob Boss exited the recording room, the 6 remaining suspects pulled handguns, AR, and AK pistols and began robbing Gucci's 2 associates. One victim, identified only as BP, would have his pockets ran and his wallet removed by who he identified as CMO Damn Fool, one of Shiesty's goons. His 1017 chain would be taken.
Man, damn fool. You know he a damn fool.
By another man he knew as Glizzy 375. Glizzy would repeatedly threaten to shoot him for moving, but Shiesty would instruct him not to. According to the victim's statement to police, he witnessed Big 30 pointing a cell phone at Gucci within the booth, but assumed he was taking pictures for social media. Victim BP further identified Baby Slime 375 for holding him and others at gunpoint. Victim BP and victim MM would identify KD 375, who they also recognized as.
I ain't gonna lie, Gucci, after looking at all these little YNs, these little goons them boys rolling with, man, I'd say, here you go, shit, you could go on. That probably wouldn't even happen. Great day, now y'all kind of killed yourself, cause Gucci, you really holding on with everything with your street, you know, your little street resume you built, and then Pooh Shiesty, of course, these niggas gone after this. You know what I'm saying? They got enough proof. They showing all this now. They normally take months of investigating and all that before they like show us stuff. Man, this junk already open to the public, so they already know them. It's over with.
He can be seen on social media with Pooh Shiesty. KD would also hold them at gunpoint. Victim MM is rumored to be Matt Marzal, who goes by the name Multi-Mars. He's a Chicago-based photographer and has been Gucci's personal cameraman for years. It was also Matt who texted Gucci's head of security when he saw the conversation within the recording booth intensifying. Matt was choked from behind, almost to the point of losing consciousness, resulting in scratches to his neck and wrist. He'd be robbed of his Rolex watch, a Louis Vuitton bag containing multiple high-end watches, and his wallet. He'd confirmed to police his Louis bag, wallet, and AirPods all had an Apple AirTag attached, and he was also able to identify his robber by his Instagram handle of Twin CMO. While the robbery was taking place, Big 30 walked to the door leading to the lobby, closing it and blocking it with his body, preventing the victims from leaving. But Gucci's security would see what was taking place. Both of Gucci's security guards would draw guns, attempting to force themselves in as they partially opened the door, only to see that they were greatly outgunned. Gucci was pushed onto a couch, causing the victims to believe they were going to be executed. Shiesty placed the barrel of his Draco to the back of BP's head, ordering him and Gucci to leave the studio through the west side of the building. Gucci then instructed his security to escort them to their vehicle. As the victims left, Gucci's cameraman turned to Pooh Shiesty and asked if they were really taking his watches. Matt would provide police with the last AirTag locations, which was revealed to be the parking lot of an apartment leased to Pooh Shiesty's father, where Pooh is believed to have been residing in Frisco, Texas. Federal investigators would recover photos of the suspect vehicles, a white Buick Enclave, a black Hellcat, and a black Dodge Ram with a roll bar. According to law enforcement databases, Big 30's father owns a 2020 Dodge Hellcat in Tennessee, and license plate readers would place it in Texas during the relevant time period of the robbery and traveling with the 2 other suspect vehicles. The white Enclave was found to be a rental, rented by none other than Shiesty's dad.
Ain't Shiesty the one that when he be rapping, him and Big 30 always talking about they'll show you how to slide and how to move and how to get away with something? Then what was this? See, they probably used to going gangster on gangster. Well, when you go gangster versus I would tell on you, that's a unfair game. I'm telling y'all that now. As a gangster, that would be the worst thing you could do is get into it with somebody that could tell and have nothing to lose from it. But Gucci, man, he had it but didn't care. You get what I'm saying? He probably looking at it like I'm old now. I ain't got time for that. My goons done left me, you know what I'm saying? I've been kicking it with my wife. I ain't been kicking it and putting the time in with the homies. So I really ain't got no crew. These boys, YNs, I don't know they jits. They could be everywhere. It ain't no point in fighting fire with fire. That's how he probably looked at it, y'all. I'm just being real and logical about it. Now, the thing about it is, Pooh Shiesty, like, bro, you did about 15 different strikes, but you don't know how to slide. Y'all keep listening to this music and think it's just about, you know, going to slide on somebody. That's not even something good, man. We need to stop even pushing that stuff like it's good. Anyway, let's get back to it.
Federal investigators would find surveillance video of Shiesty's dad at a Staples, printing out what they believed to be the release contract an hour before he arrived at the studio. The feds would also link all suspects together by cell phone GPS coordinates and would reveal Shiesty's goons were so poor, 4 of them would have to take a Greyhound bus from Texas back to Memphis, Tennessee. Now remember when the victims
Y'all boys out here doing all this sliding and nothing. Y'all couldn't pay the little chick to come pick y'all up, caught like a Uber or nothing like that. Y'all already had them violated with all the tracing and stuff. There ain't no point in being like, well, we ain't trying to get traced. Let's get on the Greyhound. Nah, the boys, that's crazy.
offered Shiesty's goons drinks, a left ring finger and right thumbprint would identify the 2 suspects that took drinks as they left their prints on the red cups. The victims obviously knew who Pooh Shiesty was, and Gucci Mane would be listed as one of the victims who identified Shiesty as wearing a Nike mask and hoodie during the robbery. Gucci would also name Big 30 and identify him by his Instagram. In fact,
that boy Guwop super ratted though, that boy. Guwop 6'9" in Charleston finna have a whole little thing going now. That's crazy. Guwop is one of the people that said, though, if you a rat, you telling, you snitching, don't talk to me. I can't mess with you. This and that, oh, man.
Almost every suspect was able to be identified by their Instagram handles. KD would be described as Shiesty's right-hand man. Damn Fool lives up to his name, as he could be seen leaving wearing Gucci's cameraman's Louis bag. He'd then post a video to Instagram wearing one of the stolen watches, and another picture would show him wearing the same sneakers worn in the robbery. Twin, who choked out the cameraman, would post multiple pictures of another stolen watch and even the 1017 chain that was taken. Shiesty and his team executed.
They'll do anything for clout. What's the point of posting all that? You want people to know you did it. I told y'all, bro. I had a video, right? It got messed up because I just thought about it, so I didn't tell y'all. Technically, I was watching the What's the Name interview, and it was like, most of them people come up there and they tell on themselves. And then they get mad and call somebody else the police. How is somebody else the police and you the one put all the evidence right there, man? I thought G's moving silent. You niggas loud as hell.
The coordinated armed recording studio takeover, temporarily kidnapping fucking Gucci Mane, robbing the shit out of him and his team, making his security look like bitches.
It was gangster though.
And leaving the scene without firing a single shot. Only for Gucci and his team to fully cooperate with police, leading to a federal takedown and kidnapping charges. More charges can be expected as yet again Pooh Shiesty is alleged to be a felon in possession of another Draco after having just finished a prison sentence for shooting someone in the ass with a Draco.
Trash.
All 9 suspects will be facing life in federal prison for conspiring to and committing kidnapping. And I can only imagine what else the feds can add on with all the firepower and priors they had. It will also be interesting to see who chooses to cooperate against who, as Pooh Shiesty's father is no stranger to the feds.
He said, no surprising who would cooperate. My dog didn't say if somebody would cooperate or not. He kept it 100. Who?
Back in 2007, Mob Boss was indicted on drug charges and would be sentenced to 70 months in prison after receiving a 5K1 sentencing reduction for his ongoing and future cooperation with the government, meaning he was snitching and agreed to keep snitching. So this whole fucking...
The Let Whack 100 said, he said Pooh Shiesty snitching too. So hey, it makes sense.
In case is snitch nasty. Gucci just fucked over Atlanta as the most rat-infested city in hip-hop, adding himself to the list of snitches after Young Thug gave investigators the longest interview of his career. Gunna flipped on Thug, Gunna did Crime Stoppers, T.I. started the Crime Stoppers wave, and Gucci is best friends with QCP. Gucci would even jump on live after the federal takedown was announced, and you'd think he'd talk about how he's far from the streets and too rich to abide by them like QCP did. But instead, Gucci was talking about the exact opposite, saying he'll smoke whoever steps to him, he doesn't believe in telling the police shit, and he's keeping it street. The exact opposite of what he did.
You step to me, I'ma smoke you. Yeah, I ain't gonna tell nobody, not even the police. I don't believe in none of that shit. Only thing I believe in is don't tell the police. Keep it in the street.
Some are even now.
Bro, when they got the video and all. Good job, dog.
Now pointing out Gucci's old interview speaking on Jeezy, trying to get him killed.
So that situation that we were just talking about with the charges and so forth, do you feel like it was a setup because cats came like after you, like they was coming to get you?
Yeah, I think it was a setup.
Do you have any indications on who it might be? Have you heard anything on the streets? Just whatever you feel in your own heart?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, ain't too many people got the motive to do some shit like that. I just like detect, learn, you know what I'm saying, look at the motive, who has motive to do it. And this fuck nigga, the only nigga has motive.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Straight up.
So it's real serious then when we talking about like actually trying to like set somebody to take someone's lives. It's on a whole nother level. It's past just the wax.
It's like I guess it's scared of competition.
Now Pooh Shiesty just fucked himself after committing the dumbest robbery with his dad being a whole government informant, and Big 30's big door blocking ass is now facing life just because he wanted to be there. Never mind the goons that came up on watches but needed a bus pass to get home. A case that no one expected, and one of the fastest crash outs we've ever seen from a rapper fresh out of prison. This is likely the last time we'll ever see Pooh Shiesty in the free world. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Hearing Gucci Mane snitched, I was in disbelief. Gucci has been one of my favorite rappers since high school. One of the main rappers I listened to in high school.
In the South, yeah.
And seeing the paperwork, it broke my heart. And then like 3 minutes later, I got over it. I mean, what the fuck do we expect in 2026? This man's 46 years old. I highly doubt he gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? They took his wedding ring, whatever other shit he had. He goes live talking about he'll smoke somebody. He should have smoked Pooh Shiesty. You know, it would have been a bang out. He really wouldn't have won that situation. I don't know why his security wasn't in the room with him. But Texas self-defense, yeah, he would have got off on that. He should have had some shit on him. You can tell he did not expect this at all. Nobody did. Nobody did. When Seti Nash broke the news, nobody even believed him. Because they were like, ain't no fucking way they playing with Gucci Mane like that. Gucci Mane got did dirty. And it's 100%.
Man, I did see the Seti Nash one. I ain't react to it, y'all, but I did see when Seti Nash said that. Seemed like a couple weeks ago. You know, time be flying, y'all. I could be off, but I'm telling you, I remember him saying that song. But when he said it, I was like, it's kind of odd to bring it up, but hey, it was already going on. And then he basically tried to save Pooh Shiesty and say he wasn't there. So I did see that.
Then confirmed, he's cooperated. Not only did he identify what Pooh Shiesty was wearing and identify Big 30 by his Instagram, how do you think the feds know exactly what took place inside of that booth? None of the other witnesses were in there, and they couldn't hear what was being said. If you're in a music studio, you can't hear what they're saying in the booth if you're not in the booth and they're not talking on the mic. That means Gucci was the one that told them. We went in there, we started arguing, he pulled out this piece of paper, I said no. He tells fucking 30 to go get his bag. He pulls out a fucking Draco, took all my shit. Gucci told the police all of that information. 100%.
And that's what I'm saying. Pooh Shiesty thought it was going to be street on street. Gucci Mane had already been through some street junk, as y'all seen earlier when he was talking about with the Gucci Mane. I mean, with the Jeezy junk. You know what I'm saying? But that's crazy. You thinking y'all finna go, you know, gangster versus gangster. Nah, boy, that boy turned civilian on you. Go ahead and put the police on you. That end the whole game. Unfair too.
What the fuck is Atlanta gonna do about it? Not a goddamn thing. We know that. Everybody knows that. You know,
it's all ignorant at the end of the day. But according to what we judge as gangster, you know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier in this video, that's what we'd have called that. That would have been gangster. I would be surprised if they don't make a movie very similar, But 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna cast those two, of course. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna really try to put no respect on that because they gonna try to get the money from it. But hey, can you blame them? You give them the money, see what they gonna do with it. They don't even change. It ain't good, y'all. If you ain't gotta live that life no more, man, stop doing that.
Snitching ain't nothing anymore. And it's crazy because a lot of the rappers that we looked up to, Gucci being one of them, was against all of that shit.
That's what we get.
And that's why these videos are so important, because you can be young and dumb as I once was, riding around listening to these songs, toting guns like they're doing in these songs, committing crimes like they're rapping about in these songs, just for you to get caught, for you to keep that shit real, for you to get sentenced to all that prison time, and the motherfucker that influenced you to live that lifestyle is a fucking rat.
Exactly, kids.
And that's the cold hard truth about this shit.
Exactly.
Do I give a fuck about this?
But all the stuff bro said, that was some real shit. That's what I'm telling y'all, bro. They trying to be a facade, man.
Case? No. I really fucking don't. Am I the biggest fan of Pooh Shiesty? No. I like a couple of his songs. But this motherfucker's a crash out.
Yeah.
End of story.
Yeah.
He's a flat fucking crash out. This is the stupidest fucking crime I've ever heard of. You did this shit while you had on an ankle monitor. Literally, what, 30 minutes after you got off the phone with whoever, and they're telling you, yo, you do not have permission to leave. You need to go home now. All right, bet. Let me rob Gucci Man first, and I'll be back. What? The fuck is wrong with you? And this is what I want to know. How much money do you think he really has after this many years just went by? And then he robs and kidnaps the label owner of the label that he's signed to. So there's no label backing him.
Nope.
You know, there's no crazy amounts of money behind him. Do you think he even has the funds to afford a lawyer that is gonna get him a decent deal? Because there's no such thing as beating this case. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I'll bet everything on it. I'll bet my chain on it. I'll bet my...
That's what I was saying. They normally don't even show this much evidence. They know he can't beat this.
YouTube fucking plaques. He ain't beating this fucking case. They got so much evidence against this man. I seen the internet lawyer that's always, oh, how'd he do it if he's on a monitor? They would have been got him. He was on the fucking monitor. That's why they have all this information. All you had to do was read the fucking thing instead of acting like you know every fucking thing. And he's fucked.
Yeah.
The amount of evidence they have in this fucking case, he's gonna get hit with more charges, guaranteed. You know, they're saying he upped the Draco, whatever the fuck, unless they...
None of them ain't even including the violations that he did. First of all, he didn't get approval from his PO. He went across the state lines. Hell, he went across the county lines and then went across the state lines. That might be a charge within itself with those, because it might be how many county lines you went over, how many state lines you went over. You get what I'm saying? That might be separated charges. Boy, that's gonna look crazy.
You need more proof than that. That's a firearm charge right there.
Yep,
it's an enhancement of punishment if guns were used during this thing. All 3 witnesses are saying that they had guns. The 2 security guards are gonna testify that they had guns. Fuck, Gucci Man himself might testify. What's worse than having somebody say, you did it? 5 people say, you did it. But let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comments section. I'm telling you, this is gonna be one of the craziest cases we see in 2026. We're only a couple months in, but hey, y'all know where to come for the content. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, y'all rocking with me.
Right.
Until next time.
Let's get it, dog. We rocking with you 1090 Jake. Good video, dog. That was crazy. But anyways, man, if y'all want to see me react to more hip-hop world content and stuff like that, man, y'all let me know down in the comments. We made it here. You can put hashtag hip-hop, hashtag pop the balloon, whatever ones you like, you know what I'm saying? Because I be creating playlists where, you know, you can choose which one you want to go to, but hey, we can help it, you know, stir it more in that direction. Let's get it, gang. I'm out of here, man.